Is your pasta sauce listening? Prego debuts recording device for the dinner table. Now, I know what they're thinking. I can see this picture here. Let's show the picture. There's a little cue card here. It says, what is your favorite thing we do together as a family? And they have their little hockey puck. I guess this is the Alexa recording. Imagine you go over to somebody's house, okay? You go over to somebody's house. It could be a date, could be a family, it could be your parents' house. You're returning for a holiday. And all of a sudden they say, tomato sauce, what's the weather like? And then it says, hello, Romshii. Today's weather is cloudy with a chance of meatballs. And then they laugh and they say, oh my God, we've just installed our new pasta sauce surveillance device and it's been so good. And it's Black Mirror, the last seasons are pretty bad. I mean, I couldn't even watch them, to be honest with you. I couldn't even watch them, and I understand why, because I mean, how do you come up with something worse? Let's change the music a little bit. I know I usually don't do that, but the high frequencies are kind of messing with my ability to give you the truth here. So I've just kind of lowered the frequencies here to a more chill tone. I mean, here we go. Pasta sauce maker Prego, in collaboration with StoryCorps, is looking to turn family chatter at the dining table into permanent records with a gadget that ensures no family anecdote ever truly does. Imagine the horrible dysfunctional family arguments around the dinner table. I told you, Justin, you're going to school. I don't want you to pursue your dreams. Your grandfather thought he was going to be a musician too. He ended up hooked on smack. And Prego will be, your pasta sauce will be recording all these horrible moments that are going to make family gatherings awkward for the next 45 years. And that is definitely where pasta sauce should be, and pasta sauce should be in your life, as your pasta sauce should be recording all of the most heinous moments so you can maybe show them to your therapist later, if you can afford therapy. If you can afford therapy, I think the Prego pasta sauce hockey puck thing would actually be good, because they could say, at what point in your life did you stop believing in yourself? And you'll pull out the Prego pasta and you'll be like, Prego, pull up when I was 14 and my father said that I should give up my dreams and I was worthless. And then he brought his new girlfriend over, and she actually OD'd at the table, and then the ambulance arrived. That's actually all recorded here on the hockey puck. Oh, I think this is great. Actually, this would be a great tool for therapy. Now, it's up to you to decide if Connection Keeper is the perfect Mother's Day present or a tabletop surveillance device and a privacy nightmare waiting to happen. I'm not going to reduce talking, okay? Reading out loud is hard, and you can read on the screen. I'm going to put it there. So, do you think this is the perfect Mother's Day present or a nightmare surveillance device? Well, me personally, I think it's a nightmare surveillance device, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And here we have it, a nice AI-generated image. This is AI. This might be a real image. That's actually impressive if Prego took a real picture of something for once. Design-wise, the Connection Keeper looks discreetly like an expensive caviar tin or maybe a premium jar of marinara. Ooh. However, instead of a slow-simmering tomato sauce, the puck is a simple, screenless recording device made to store those fleeting moments of banter, wisdom, or standard-issue bickering come dinner time. Yeah, it's going to record a lot more than standard-issue bickering. I'll tell you that. We're changing the music again. I know you can't hear the music that well, but for me, it really puts me in a state of mind where I can communicate, I can talk, and sometimes, I don't adjust it enough. I don't adjust the music enough on this channel. I just kind of take it for granted it's happening, but it is happening live, by the way. If you're new here, all that sound you hear in the background is actually happening right in front of me. This whole thing is a performance. This whole thing is a work of art that ties together. The music puts me in a state of mind where I can critique the modern day technology, and I'm working with it, and I've got all these pedals, and there's a list of the pedals in the bottom if you're that type of person. When the meal begins, you simply tap the lid, use the optional conversation prompt cards. It's got prompt cards. The prompt cards would be like, what Prego products are you thinking of purchasing next? What are your feelings towards the government? From a technical standpoint, this is 1984. But when people say this is like 1984, and then someone goes, actually, it's not. I've read 1984 a couple times. And by read, I mean listen to, because reading, I'm not there yet. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I was a reader. I have some books I want to start reading, but I've listened to 1984 several times, and this is like 1984. So in 1984, basically, they all go to what's called the Hall of Spaghetti. They all go to the Spaghetti Hall, and they're forced to eat spaghetti while admitting their sins. And I can make an AI-generated image of that right now, actually. Here we go. There we go. AI-generated. So they're kind of force-fed spaghetti while like guards walk around, like Gestapo guards. And while they're eating it, it's kind of like a skull and bones initiation where they had to lay in a coffin and do you know what while admitting all of their past. It's kind of like that. They're force-feeding spaghetti while talking about their past, and then eventually they all die. From a technical standpoint, the Connection Keeper, that's such a crazy name too, Connection Keeper. What are they thinking, by the way? Like when they do these meetings, like so many things in this world is just, it's like a conversation you would have with a coworker in a back room that makes no sense. And all it is it's two extremely rich people having this conversation and deciding they should try it. The Connection Keeper, because you're keeping your connections. People have not had a problem with it for hundreds of thousands of years. We've eaten, we've talked, we've remembered what we were supposed to remember. We don't need the Prego connection. And why is it called Prego? It sounds like I'm rudely referring to somebody's pregnant girlfriend, and I don't care enough to know her name. I'm like, Prego. Hey, what's Prego doing here? I don't know. Oh my God, I just lost it. I just lost the article. Hold on, let me restart my internet here. I hate this stupid technology. See, they're trying to force more technology on us. The technology we have doesn't even work. Where were we? In a time when consumers are increasingly paranoid about their smart fridges. Who's paranoid about their smart? By the time you've got a smart fridge, you have given up all personal sovereignty. By the time you allow your fridge to have sentience, you have given up hope. You have given up autonomy. That fridge is a transformer. It will transform in the middle of the night and it walks around your house, scanning the environment, and it sends those maps back to secret organizations. And it's through that information that they are able to send astral demons into the home to kind of wander through the halls and leave ectoplasm on anything. When you touch the ectoplasm, that's when your soul is harvested. So we all know this. It's all in the documents, so we don't have to worry about proving that at any time. Prego has decided to skip the subtlety and put the microphone right next to the Parmigiano. As if phone distraction at mealtime isn't enough, the recorder transformed the act of eating into a performance for the archives. This is what I don't like. I don't like this at all. And you know what? I'm going to change the music again. I don't like this at all. I'm going to be real with you. You know, I like to ride my bike, and sometimes I ride my bike just to clear my head, and I go, and it's nice and whimsical, and it's great, and then a friend of mine said, hey, you should try Strava. He said, and that's an app where it tracks where you're riding, and all of a sudden I'm riding, and I'm thinking, how is this going to look on Strava? Because I like to ride in a whimsical way. I don't really ride for exercise. I ride to kind of smell the roses, you know. I feel the wind in my hair, I go slow, I meander, I might stop and look at something, and it's meditative and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, now that you know it's being tracked for social media, you do it differently. You're kind of like, I need to ride, I need to prove that I'm riding quite a bit and people are going to look at me right. And then I stopped using it because I realized it doesn't need to be archived. What I'm doing, nobody cares. It's okay. I can just do something without recording it. In fact, you know. And this is true here. Like, why do we need an archive of, family moments? Some of which will probably be, you know what? This could stop your parents from gaslighting you. That actually could be good. You know, a lot of people have that problem where they say that never happened. You could pull up a dinner conversation from like 1984 to bring up that year again. I mean, it's been on my mind. But I mean, obviously they didn't have this technology then. But maybe in 20 years, you could bring up a conversation from 2026 and say, hey, you did tell me that you would disown me if I went to snake wrangling school. And they'll be like, I'm sorry, I love you. You don't need to go to therapy anymore because I admit I'm wrong, and we can work on this relationship. So in a way, what Prego is doing, and I'm not talking about somebody's pregnant girlfriend that I'm not bothering to learn their name. I'm talking about the pasta sauce company. What Prego is doing here actually is going to prevent parental figures from gaslighting you 20 years into the future, because all of your dinner conversations will be recorded. Now, if your family is together enough to still have dinner as a unit, that is actually a good sign. But if it's so together that you're getting a pasta puck in the middle of the table to record the conversations, that actually probably means they should be recorded, because the stuff that's being said is probably ridiculous. That's what I'm trying to say. StoryCorps claims that its portal M-, so this is a ChatGPT article, and therefore any uploaded family musings, another M-, are preserved behind full encryption. Yeah, right. We all know how much that means. And privacy controls, even if details on each have not been provided. Wow. So I trust them. I trust Pasta Sauce, because if you can make a sauce, you can make an encrypted database of my information. That's what I think. If you can mix some tomatoes and spices together, I trust you. Okay? And I think that's okay. And I think we need to kind of bring that type of trust back to the forefront of our world. I trust them. Like, if you can mix a bunch of tomatoes together and add some spices, some flavoring, maybe add a little bit of beef in there. I like the beef. I like a beef sauce. You guys have any beef sauce? Could I have some beef sauce with meatballs, please? I trust you. I trust this company, and I believe in the Prego Pasta Puck. I believe that you should record all your family conversations. I think that if you have nothing to hide, you should put this thing right beside the Parmigiano, just like it says. You know, that's just what I think. I mean, yes, it is like 1984 in the scene where they shovel pasta in their mouth and they get shot in the back of the head. It is like that. But at the same time, the only people in 1984 that get killed are the people who speak up. So as long as you don't want to speak up or say anything crazy, you know, then the Prego Pasta Puck is fine. They should call it the Prego Pasta Cup, not the Prego Pasta Puck. Not the what is it called? The connector? The Prego Connection Keeper. It's like, this is real. AI StoryCorps, we believe listening is a profound way to honor and connect with our loved ones. And some of the most meaningful stories are shared in everyday moments, like around the table. Wow. Sandra Clark, CEO at StoryCorps. We're proud to partner with Prego to help families to be present with one another and preserve their stories for generations to come. You don't need to do that. Okay? How disingenuous can you be? There should be a competition held once a year, probably, where do they do Davos? Where do they do that? Where do they do the World Economic Forum? Part of the World Economic Forum gathering should also be like, who can say the most hilarious, disingenuous thing and keep a straight face? That would actually be incredible. And I'm sure they actually do that. Like in the secret meeting afterwards, they probably get together and just like laugh hysterically. They probably bring up the best of. Like, they're like, okay, what was her name? Sandra Clark for the Prego Connection Keeper Pasta Puck. Let's get her on stage. What did you say? And they all have a good laugh, and they who knows what other horrible things take place. Probably sacrifice somebody to Moloch. You know, who knows what else they're doing. The Connection Keeper has no screen, speakers, or wireless connectivity, and what it does have is button control with a USB-C port for charging and file transfer to the cloud. And included 16 gigs. That's pretty good. You know what? The audio device is slated to hit the shelves on April 27th for $20. Although supplies are reportedly very limited. So Romshinators, if you actually go and order this and use code ROMSHI, it brings the price up by $30. So if you use ROMSHI, you can do that. Oh, I did it in the reverse. Does that sound better? I did it in the reverse. This might sound better in reverse. Romshinators, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Please use the discount code ROMSHI when buying your Prego Pasta Puck. And I will see you in the next one. Comment down below your favorite family dinner and what was said. Have a good night. See you later. Goodbye.